everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. Looking at another saw for Bob. This is a Super XL, mid to late 80s model. If I remember correctly, it's an 86, I think, based on the serial number. It's a G for the date code. I ought to just post that out here so I can look at it, but what the heck, haven't done that. Pretty typical Super XL. It's you know, in decent shape, especially considering its age, nearly 30 years old. Had some of the common problems. Had no spark the first time I tested it. Did some cleanup on it. Had spark. Reassembled, didn't have spark. So, being 80s, it's got the electronic coil. This is the old one. These are famous for failing. I had one myself when I was a teenager that I put it away in the winter, came back in the spring, had no spark. You know, they just failed over time. So these are the ones that I like to bake that will come back to life in many cases. So I will give that a shot with this one. But for Bob's purposes, I had a good one on the shelf, a very low hour one. So I bolted that on there. And as you can hear, it's running great. Other things that the saw needed were pretty minor. Fuel hose, starter rope, clean the starter out really good. I mean, the saw was greased up horribly on the inside. It was very common for guys to overfill these things, have it run down, and that fuel and oil mix just attracted the sawdust. And these things will overheat when you can't get air between the crankcase and the fuel tank. There's actually a groove that's, you know, 1/4 of an inch, maybe 3/8 in spots, and that'll fill up with sawdust really quickly. When you don't get that air movement through there, they will overheat and boil the fuel, which is not good. We all know that. You can tell this one is oiling quite well. These were not known for oiler issues, and this one's no different. Has a manual override. Zama carburetor is extremely reliable. I like these things. Again, the fuel hose is kind of a standard thing. Had the old spur sprocket on it that was in terrible shape, so we got a nice rim drive on there now that will be great for the next owner. So anyway, Bob, I think this one's about ready to rock and roll for you, so I'll get her drained and we'll get her heading your way sometime this week.